So, Mr. Koopmans, good afternoon. You are the EU Special Representative for the Middle East process. We cannot start this interview without mentioning the situation in Syria.
Mr. Assad was a brutal dictator, and I think everywhere it is welcomed that he is gone. Of course, now we need to have stability in the region. We need Syria to have sovereignty, the people of Syria, all the minorities and everyone, to have their rights. And we hope that there will be more security and stability in the region because of this.
Has the time come to the Syrian migrants, Syrian refugees in Europe to come back home?
I've seen many celebrations over Europe through the media as I was here in Israel by many of the millions of people who have fled the brutal rule of Assad, but also who have fled from the terror organizations that were operative in Syria. I think we all want to see stability. We want to see the citizens of Syria have a peaceful country, and I'd hope that there will be security and rights for them so that everybody who wants can return.
Well, Iran loses another pawn in the Middle East after Hezbollah. Now its Alawite ally is defeated in Syria. This is good news for the peace process you want to promote in the region?
Of course, Iran's previous attacks on Israel, we as the EU have condemned. Iran's interference in the region has been devastating for many. We now need to work on comprehensive regional peace with everyone.
Let's talk about the future of the Gaza Strip. How do you see the day after?
First, we have said for now a very long time there needs to be a ceasefire immediately. The hostages, they need to be released immediately. Humanitarian aid needs to get in immediately and massively. There are so many people suffering. I spoke this morning with families of the hostages, and their stories are heartbreaking and they need their support. I also speak with the humanitarians who work in Gaza, and what they tell me of the hunger that is there, the complete despair of millions of people, that we also need to focus on. It needs to happen immediately, that everybody is saved.
Well, the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, has taken some drastic measures against UNRWA. What do you think about it? Do you think there is an alternative mechanism to help Palestinians in Gaza, in the West Bank?
Is an essential and irreplaceable organization to provide humanitarian aid, medical help, education to Palestinians around the region and in Gaza.
Even if a linkage has been proven between UNRWA and the terrorist organization of Hamas?
Let us not forget that UNRWA is an organization of more than 30,000 employees. In Gaza itself, 13,000. More than 200 of those employees, a lot more, have actually been killed in the war since the 7th of October last year. UNRWA provides irreplaceable support. They deserve our support. And of course, any of the employees individually who have worked with terrorists, who are terrorists, need to be dealt with very seriously. But UNRWA itself is irreplaceable, and it is very unfortunate that now it is not acceptable to try to push UNRWA out, because there is no alternative. It's also an obligation upon Israel to allow that in, to contribute to that. And that is important for the Palestinians. It's also important for Israel. What is the future of that people? The future for the Palestinians and the Israelis is to be neighbors.
Do you think the two-state solution is still feasible?
All those who reject the two-state solution, I have not heard from them, what is then your solution? What is the alternative? And how are you going to contribute to not just rights of the Palestinians, but also to the long-term security of Israel?
Josep Borrell is now replaced by the Estonian Kaja Kallas at the head of the European diplomacy. And you know, Israel remembers mainly the unfriendly statements of Josep Borrell. Do you think that now we left, the music will change, the tone will change?
I think that Ms. Kallas is new High Representative since a week, and she will have her own voice. She is her own person. At the same time, make no mistake, the European Union is united. The High Representative, the past one, the current one, the 27 member states of it, we are united on the need for international law, humanitarian law, on the need for Israeli security and Palestinians.
Yes, but Europe is divided about the Palestinian question. Some countries recognizing the Palestinian state, some countries not, like France, for example. So how can you pretend to claim to play a role in the peace process when you don't speak with one voice?
I'm not walking away from the nuances. There are differences of views in the various capitals of the European Union, but there are certain fundamentals that we all agree on, and the two-state solution, international law, the right of security for Israelis and for Palestinians, and their freedom, that we are all agreed on.
Sven Koopmans, thank you for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.